Ricky Pearsall, first-round pick at wide receiver. The most famous first-round pick to me in 49ers history is at the wide receiver position is Jerry Rice, right? Then you got your Rashawn Woods. You got your A.J. Jenkins. You got your Michael Crabtrees. Ricky Pearsall, first-round pick. Initial thoughts after the dust is settled. We've had a few days of digestive draft and kind of look at his film and get to know him a little through his pressers. Your thoughts on Ricky Pearsall? What's your expectations for him? What's the realistic expectations for Niner fans when it comes to Ricky Pearsall coming in as a rookie?
Are we assuming that the other two big wide receivers are not getting moved between now and week one?
I'm going to assume that Ayuk and Debo are both here.
Okay, so I think that tapers whatever normal expectations were. If he was going to be a like-for-like, swap out for somebody, then you would be like, oh, yeah, you would say an aggressive number, 55, 70 catches. Like, to me, to think that the fifth or sixth option on the team is going to have more than 30 targets, that feels aggressive just today. But at the same time, if I know Shanahan as much as I do, when he does like someone and when he is in love or enamored with somebody, he'll make the switch right away.
Right.
He did it with Matt Breida out of nowhere. He did it with, at one point, Nick Mullins, where he was like, I'm going to throw the ball all over the place. I really like Nick Mullins. Now, he ended up reverting back on that. Purdy, he didn't change his offense much for Purdy. He actually dived more into passing the ball with Brock Purdy. So, I don't know. I'm thinking that they're actually going to do some different stuff this year in terms of three wide receiver sets. I know everyone's losing their mind about, we don't have a second tight end. Juice is kind of your second tight end. At least that's how they're going to utilize him. Yeah. Not necessarily in the traditional be the number two tight end, but in formations where he's masking what a second tight end would be doing. Yep. So I think you're going to see more three wide receiver sets. I guess my bigger question is, where is he? Is he going to leapfrog Juwan Jennings?
It's a good question.
Is Juwan Jennings going to be here?
It is a great question. A great question. Jason Aponte tweeted out something yesterday of a route that we saw in the Super Bowl for the Kansas City Chiefs on their game-winning touchdown. I don't remember who caught the game-winning touchdown because I already put my head down at that point.
It was Hardman, right?
No, it wasn't McCole Hardman. It was somebody else. It was...
was it Tony?
Oh, Tony, and he didn't know the play.
I don't think it was Kadarius Toney who scored the last touchdown, was it? It was... No, it was McCole Hardman. Excuse me. You're right.
Yeah,
it was
right.
McCole Hardman.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
He didn't even know that the game was over.
But that route, Jason Aponte basically tweeted out a highlight or a play from this rookie from Arizona, Cowing. And he ran a similar route. And Aponte's like, boy, I know where the Niners got that play. I know why the Niners got him. Because they seen that play in the Super Bowl, and he ran a similar route for Arizona, and he got wide open. And his speed, the speed on the play, it's like, wow, look at the cut. Look at the pivot to the flat there, to the pylon, towards the pylon of the end zone. How are they going to use him? Because he's got speed.
Well,
and he's another shifty guy in the slot.
Did you hear any of his introductory press conference?
I did.
He was talking about option routes.
Right.
And the number one play for CMC and Brock Purdy is this option route. And they, because they're so on the same page, it's one of the most efficient plays in the Niners playbook. George Kittle at times runs a few option routes, Debo, Ayuk. But I think this player was talking about how the option route's his favorite play. And
Jacob Cowing, Arizona.
No, but Pearsall.
Pearsall, yeah.
Talking about the option route. And so I think that that is where they're going to utilize him in the short area stuff on third down. And you're going to spread the formation and have Debo coming across and try to get everyone to shift just so they can get a one-on-one matchup with him and a safety, him and a linebacker, and attack those option routes.
I'm excited. I don't know what my expectation is for Pearsall because he can run those option routes. I'm excited to hear about his in-and-out quickness. We see the film. We see his tape. We see him beating press man coverage, which really hindered the 49ers in that Super Bowl. A lot of guys couldn't uncover. The few guys who did uncover didn't get the ball. It was either overthrown or the quarterback wasn't looking in that direction. It happens. I get it. It happens. Ricky Cowing and Ricky Pearsall. Pearsall coming in as a first-round pick. I think for a lot of fans, they're going to expect greatness because you see first-round attacks. We do this draftism. Somebody brought it up. You brought up draftism yesterday. A lot of people on the text line brought up draftism, which is why we view Purdy in a certain way, right? And I stopped viewing Purdy as a seventh-round pick or Mr. Irrelevant. The guy's a good quarterback. He's one of the 12 best quarterbacks in the NFL, maybe 10.
If
maybe
the
10.
Niners took him in the first round, it would already be a great pick.
Absolutely. So, but Pearsall, considering he's a wide receiver, and wide receivers, that position group, now that I think about it, is starting to turn into running backs, where a lot of teams, I feel like, think they could get receivers left and right because there's an abundance of them, because of all the college game plans, throwing to all these wide receivers, and the NFL saying, hey, look, if we got spacing, we could get a guy in the 4th round or 5th round, make him pop, and have a productive career, or pop. Ricky Pearsall, I think the expectations for him, because he is looked at amongst the fan base as a replacement for either Ayuk or Deebo Samuel, whether it's this season, next season, or the year after. And I think the expectations are going to be some pressure on him from the fan base to say, all right, what's Pearsall doing? How many snaps is he playing? Because if he doesn't play, because you're right, if he does catapult or doesn't catapult Juwan Jennings, then people are going to say, well, he's only playing 10 snaps. Really? We spent the first-round pick on him? I can already see it. We should have got a tackle. We should have got a safety. We should have got a corner. Blah, 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 blah.
I mean, we did this with Ronnie Bell and Danny Gray. They're not suited up. How many times? And these guys were drafted way lower than he was. Ronnie Bell, obviously, significantly lower than even Danny Gray. So I think you're right. The other thing, and I'm very interested to see how they use Deebo this year. Are they more apt to use Deebo as a running back because this might be the final year of Deebo, or are they willing to go down that route? Is that a great option for them? Is that a better option than going Jordan Mason out of the backfield? I don't know. Are they going to, do a better job of giving guys plays off? Because during the Super Bowl, you and I go, oh my God, Deebo, get back out on the field. Right. Oh my God, Nick Bosa, get back out on the field. They like to rotate. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Will they go more no huddle?
Yeah,
see, that's something that I think that they can utilize more of with Brock Purdy.
Up-tempo.
Yeah.
Up-tempo.
He's so smart and he's so quick. Don't let the other team substitute. I don't know. I'm just thinking of what is the next step of the evolution of the offense? They're always going to be a run-first team, but what are the little nuances that they're going to add to it?
They did average 29 a game, and I'm looking for him to take more deep shots with a guy like Pearsall. Maybe a guy like Cowing. You can get some good matchups here, get him and take the top off the defense. That was the biggest thing in the Super Bowl. You got to make Kansas City pay for having 10 in the box. 9 in the box, 8 in the box. For the most part, all season, they made teams pay for that.
Yeah.
But in a different way. That game screamed, you got to hit some big shots down the football field. Well, you have to. That's what killed Buffalo in that game in the playoffs. They took chances on deep shots that was available for them. They just dropped the pass, whether it's Trent Sherfield or Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, the number one play for them this year was Deebo on the left, CMC on the right, quarterback and shotgun. And they never went to that in the Super Bowl. They had it, and then they would split either guy out wide, and then they went 5 wide. It was very odd to me that they didn't utilize that formation more. Maybe because of the pressure in the box and all that.
Right.
I don't know. But I thought that was one of their most potent plays. They destroyed Philadelphia utilizing that.
Let's go to Brian Baldinger on how Pearsall fits into the Niners offense.
I think you'll see it over the course of the year, and then by next year, one guy is going to be here and one guy isn't going to be here. Right now, it should be highly competitive practices right now, because I think you're going to see the talent of Pearsall. I think everybody's going to see it. And so this question of how they move them around, can they find a space for all of them? It's just not going to be tolerant that guys are going to be crying for the ball. They're not getting touches. I mean, it's just the ball's going to get spread around, and it's going to go through McCaffrey. That's not going to change. So I'm anxious to see what that roster looks like Labor Day weekend, and if everybody that's been here is going to still be here.
That is, I'm with Baldy there. The competition at the wide receiver position. Not everybody's going to be on this roster. You brought in Cowing. You brought in Pearsall. What does it mean for Ronnie Bell? What does it mean for Danny Gray? What does it mean for Trent Taylor? You know what I'm saying? Juwan Jennings still, I believe, hasn't signed that tender yet. I think he will, but what if he doesn't?
I think you keep him around. You want to keep him around. If he doesn't, then I don't know what happens in those situations. But, I've given up on Danny Gray.
Yeah.
It's just me. And Ronnie Bell, I don't think they've invested enough to make me worry about whether he's on the roster or not.
We saw flashes.
No, I like Ronnie Bell. I would keep him around. I mean, who's going to play special teams gunner? That's why Chris Conley was on this team last year. And I don't think they'll have Juwan Jennings on special teams. I don't know if he wants to play.
Special teams important, though.
It is. It's extremely important. So, I don't know. Is Trent Taylor going to return punts?
Wow, big pun. Our boy Big Pun, South City's chiming in. 40 to 45 catches, 700 yards, 3 to 5 touchdowns for Pearsall.
I got a joke for you, Bonte.
He's a bigger, faster Julian Edelman, works the middle of the field, can take a hit. That's big pun right there.
I mean,
big pun, South City.
Look, I mean, Kittle had, 70 catches last year?
Did he have? Was it 65?
Yeah.
No, Ayuk had 75.
I don't think it was like that. Someone's taking less. Maybe it's CMC who's taking less.
Well, you know what? That's a good one because
maybe it's CMC.
Because a lot of people were concerned about CMC's workload last season.
Yeah.
Maybe you ease up off CMC midway through the year. I don't know how you do it, how you taper down the touches, because I like seeing him touch the ball 25 times a game. Maybe you're tapering it down to 18, 20, and that, therefore, it gives you more touches for Pearsall and others in this offense. Let's go to Miley real quick and Walden Creek.
I'm looking
Miley.
at the catches, too. Go to the...
What up, Miley?
Hey, guys. I wanted to give you my thoughts on Pearsall. I've seen him since 7-on-7 days pre-college. But I'm also the guy who said, another drip drop coming. I'm also the guy that said, Shaq, I'm talking to Bonte.
Oh, are you that guy, Miley? Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, why you had to come out, my boy? Miley, real quick. I'm going to let you finish. Why you had to come out, my boy, like that, man? You know it's all love.
Because I was trying to convince you LeBron was going to come to the Warriors, and you weren't listening.
Oh, I was listening.
But anyway, on Pearsall, he's a guy that can run every route. Elite route runner, elite hands.
I like it.
Juwan Jennings, I love on third down. I love on possession. I love in the red zone. Keep him for that reason. Pearsall's going to line up everywhere. He probably won't line up in the backfield, but like you guys just said, I think they want to minimize CMC a little bit.
Yeah.
And also Debo, maybe minimize him a little bit. If the Debo steps on the field, and he's got gravity. So Pearsall will be able to line up everywhere. And I think right now Shanahan is probably just going crazy, drawing up plays for these 3 wide receiver sets.
I agree. So I'm looking at the targets and the catches. 105 targets, 75 catches for Ayuk. Second most, 83 targets, 67 catches for McCaffrey. 83 out of the backfield. Now, that's by design, but it's also because he's so good at what he does.
What was Kittle?
Kittle, 90 targets.
How many catches? 65. Yep, told you, 65.
Debo, 89 targets, 60 catches.
And that's been missing 3 games. Don't forget about that. He missed 3 games.
Okay, so then he's probably closer to 100.
Right, and maybe McCaffrey tapers down with the targets if Debo plays.
So let's go to Jennings and Ray, okay? Jennings, 33 targets, 19 catches. Ray McLeod, 15 targets, 12 catches.
Wow.
So let's say he catches all of the balls those two catch. All of them. That would mean Juwan's off the roster. You're looking at like 30 catches. If none of the other guys take a tick down in production.
All right. Rucker New Era. I cannot see on YouTube. I cannot see Kyle throwing more and changing his approach by being pass heavy.
I'm kind of with him.
Yeah. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. I want to see him evolve a little bit.
I do too.
Get a little creative.
But the strength of the team is the run game.
No doubt.
So it's hard to go away from it.
No doubt. All right. Coming up in the